Jose Rizal y Mercado, since it was in her universities that he studies medicine, is one of the principal, if not the principal figure in the uprising we call on the persecutor.
Jose Rizal, the man behind the unlawful literary works, namely No Limitangere Annotations to the History of the Philippines by Morga and El Filibusterismo, along with the rest, imprinted the idea of wars against religious orders on his people to protect this mere colony. It is no doubt Jose Rizal is the perpetrator of the rebellion, masking himself as the good guy, the hero guiding these people, doing with his three heroes' crimes as the symbol and catalyst of this rebellion. He must suffer the consequences through penalty of penal code by punishment of death. The debating consultant may now take the floor.
Throughout the years, Rizal's name has been the workery of the people, symbolizing the icon of the revolution. Claimed his name and presence to be a threat to cause disarray among the people between the Hispania and the Philippines. On what grounds exactly has Rizal ever spoke of turning his back from Spain out loud? Has he hated our motherland so much to the point of quickly destroying our sacred country? Directly, he has gallantly waved a weapon of choice in demands of bloodshed for change to happen. I don't think so. Although his so-called controversialities of literary works sold him as the subject of hate and rage. These works of critical judgment is advocation of the Philippines' rights as a step to national security and independence of his country. Through his enduring mind and skills, he obtained the respect of his people alone.
With good intentions to the Spaniards, even with those who rates him as a traitor, and because of this basis, it made clear that judging him fairly is impossible from this angel. Now, has the prosecutors any pang of gate, that results theoretical standing of how our country should be placed on equal ground of respect shown in inconsistency. Is that why you reject it? Is that why you surprise it? Or was it just indecency and buttered echoes that made the decisions for us? In an objective perspective, his work doesn't even add up to directly aggravate, ties, and encourage and praising. Rizal affirms for 4 years since 1892 to 1896 as an exile in Dapita he stayed shut from anything that goes political. Even his encounter with Don Pio Valenzuela, who asked him to join and pioneer the revolt by coming with them and saving himself by escaping this inevitable day from his fate. He still rejected it. From this, we can rationally give truth to the verdict in that so we place in the home of blind justice that he is not quality, the judge cannot be vindictive. The judge can only be just from those victimized by the revolt directly and indirectly, losing the ones they love. Please don't let the desires of revenge and contempt get ahead of us. Give that part to those who are in a battle. Let us speak of his trial fairly and objectively. Let us judge Jose Rizal, Mercado, Alonzo, not for the sake of revenge, but for the sake of justice. The defense rests.
Does the accused wish to add anything in his defense concerning the rebellion since July 6, 1892? I have not engaged in politics until June 1 of this year, when Dr. Valenzuela came to notify me about an uprising task proving that I have no prior contact with them. For if I were in touch, I would have already known about such a grave matter as an uprising. Another negative proof, they do not hold any previous letter from me. They exploited my name very cruelly, and the last moment by surprise they wanted to take me. They not contact me earlier, possibly because they know that I, although as then conceded, was resigned about my exile, and I refused to consider many various schemes to escape from the Pitan regarding the rebellion, July 6, 1892. Since my stay in the Pitan, I have not engaged in politics until June 1, when Dr. Valenzuela informed me about it, in which I rejected him and advised him not to. That was our first engagement with each other. Therefore, that has the first time I've heard of the uprising revolution. If I was the chief of the revolution, why was I not consulted by the revolutionists in the hour of their planning stage? Why now where they have ruined my profile and rescue me in pursuits of their spite against España? Another fact suggests that I had a previous letter as evidence of being in cahoots with them. As stated previously, I have no contact with them until June 1. I knowing this now, they have sullied and abused my good name without me being aware of it. If I was guilty, I would have flown to Singapore, and going back, if I was indeed the perpetrator, I would not have stayed as exile, but instead plead tomorrow, benta, and not invest in the Pitan, of whom I was familiar with. Why did they not visit? Because they know I have left politics behind, and they are aware that I am not in favor of obtaining freedom through a destructible revolt. All I desire for my motherland, Philippines, is to know and experience the essence of liberty, not through brute force and bloody wars, but through the value of education. The court will be having a short recess to discuss the further implications of the trial. The final decision has been made. The judge have concluded in this verdict that we find the defendant guilty. This tribunal condemns Dr. Jose Rizal Mercado y Alonso with the penalty of death, so decreed and ordered by the ordinary court martial of post.